Hey guys, welcome to your Unit 8 Lesson 4 notes on factoring trinomials, this time with an a out front. That's with a number out in front of your x squared plus bx plus c. Just a recap of last time. When we looked at factoring trinomials without an a in front, just this kind of guy, we were looking for something that multiplied to get to x squared, and that was always going to be x times x, and then something that multiplied to get c, whatever c's factors are, but this area, this needed to add up to what b was. So last time we were trying to find factors of c that add up to b, that add up to equal b. They add up to be what? No, add up to equal b. We're going to do the same thing, except this time there's going to be an a in front of here, so we'll have to look at factors of a. Okay. By the end of the day, you will be able to factor trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, but it's going to be the same kind of thing. And then just a heads up, we need to keep a close eye out. Look for the GCF, because sometimes we can factor out a GCF, a greatest common factor, to make our lives a little bit easier. So we always check for a GCF. Is there a GCF here? Well, the GCF is 1 because 7's a prime and 2's prime, so they're not going to have a GCF here. So that box is checked. Now we just need to figure out how can we make the area in this rectangle add up to 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Well, we're going to follow the same pattern that we did last time. We know that our x squared term is always going to be this big guy right here, and our c term, in this case 6, is always going to be this guy right here. So we need to figure out, okay, well, what's going to make my red square? red square. Well, there are only two things that can multiply to get 2. That's 2 and 1. And there's only one way to multiply to get x squared, and that's x times x. So either way, we have to have 2x times, we don't need a 1, 2x times x. By the way, it doesn't matter which side the 2 goes on. It can be x times 2x, or it can be 2x times x. It really doesn't matter. Okay? But what does matter then is how we get this green area to add up to 7x. We're still going to look for factors of 6. We're going to look for factors of c, in this case 6. What multiplies to 6? It can be 1 and 6, or 2 and 3, and we need those to add up to 7. But there's a 2 in the way. So we need to plug these guys in and see, okay, how is that going to work? For example, 1 plus 6 is 7. That's nice, but watch what happens when we plug in a 1 and 6 here. We get 1 to go in this area. We have 1 times 2x, which gives us a 2x. And then to fill in this square, we have x times 6, giving us a 6x. But guess what, guys? Now in our green area, we have a total of 8x. We have 6x plus 2x. So that doesn't add up to give us 7. That's going to add up to give us 8x. So that's wrong. In fact, I'm going to write these twice because this time order matters. So we can do 1 and 6, 2 and 3, and that's different from 3 and 2 or 6 and 1. So we tried 1 and 6, and that didn't work. Now, let's try 2 and 3. What happens if we put a 2 and a 3 here? Actually, hold on. What happens if we put a 3 and a 2 here? If we do 3 and 2, then we get 2x times 3, which is 6x. And then we do x times 2, which is 2x. Oh shoot, that still adds up to 8x. That was super weird. So 3 up on top and 2 on the side didn't work. But what happens if we put 2 up on top, 3 on the side? So 3 and 2 didn't work. Let's see what 2 and 3 would. Well, 2x times 2 gives 4x. And then x times 3 gives 3x. Oh, whoa. And now what happens when we add up our x terms? 3x plus 4x is 7x. So we do get our 7x, and that works. So that was our success right there. Now we need to figure out, okay, what is this amount right here? Well, that is x plus 2. That's one of our factors. And what is this amount right here? That's 2x plus 3. That's our other factor. We got it. And this is why I like drawing the box, because it helps me visualize making sure that when we multiply these two together, we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So that's the trick. We are still trying to find factor pairs, and we put them on our square model. Okay. Now, once we've got our answer, once we've factored it, we need to use FOIL to check our work. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. If we have, you know what, I'm just going to copy these guys. Let's check to make sure that this worked. So we have our first x times 2x equals 2x squared. Now we have our outside x times 3x. We've got our inside, 2 times 2x is 4x. And we've got our last 2 times 3 is 6. Oh look, we can add up our 3x plus 4x, giving us a 7x. Lo and behold, it is correct. 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. And that's what we started with. 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Look, it's the same. Ta-da! We did it right. Okay. So check your work with foiling, and basically just use your square. Your square is going to help. Okay? So let's zoom in here. Make sure you don't have any greatest common factors. We don't. And now we need to figure out, okay, what is going to multiply to give us a 4? Well, we can either do 1 times 4, 2 times 2, or 4 times 1. We're also going to need things that multiply to 5. Okay, well, that can be 1 and 5? Or 5 and 1. Sweet, and now we have to use these guys as combinations to get this to add up to 4x squared. Oops. We need this to be 4x squared. We need this guy to be 5. And now this middle area needs to add up to 12. So guys, it's time to guess and check. Well, we have to go through all of these. Here we go. Okay, let's try 1 and 4 and 1, 5. So if you have x times 4x and 1 and 5, well, you get 1 times 4x is 4x, and x times 5 is 5x. That adds up to 9. That doesn't work. Okay, well, what happens if we switch them around? And we do 5 and 1. That'll give us 20x. That's already too big. It needs to be 12. Remember, we're looking for our green area needs to add up to 12x. Okay, so 1 and 4 is not going to work. Let's try 2 and 2. Start over. Okay, so if we have 2x times 2x, that's still 4x squared. What if we try 1 and 5? Well, that'll give us 1 times 2x, and then 2x times 5 is 10x. Ding, ding, ding! That'll get us there. That adds up to our 12x. So that ends up being our magic pair. So our factors are 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 5. You can check your work by foiling it out I already did to save you some time, and we're right. Awesome. For our last guy, look at this. We can make our lives a little bit easier because we have a GCF of 2. So we can factor out a 2 from all of these guys. If we pull a 2 out from 12, that'll give us a 6. If we pull a 2 out from 22, that gives us 11. And if we pull out a 2 out from, we pull out a 2 out from 8, that gives us a 4. Now, all we have to do, so we've factored a little bit. We have factored out a 2 already. So 2 is a factor of this trinomial. Now we want to continue factoring by factoring 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. So we're trying to find things that will multiply to 6 and things that will multiply with 4. And once we get those factor pairs, we want to make sure they add up to negative 11. Okay, factor pairs of 6 are going to be 1 and 6, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 6 and 1. Factor pairs of 4, we just saw earlier. They're 1 and 4, 2 and 2, 4 and 1. Yay! Okay, sweet. So let's plug them into our diagram. We want something that will multiply to 6x squared, and we want something that will multiply to 4. In our green area, whatever this green area is, these two rectangles together, they need to add up to negative 11x. Okay, you know what? Can I like carry these down and then zoom in on them? I'm just gonna do that. Just so they're all on the same screen. Okay, sweet. We know the only way to get an x squared is to put x times x. And now let's start with 1 and 6. And let's try 1 and 4 as well, remembering that these need to add up to negative 11x. Okay, so we plug them in. Okay, what if we had 1x and 6x and 1 and 4? What does that add up to be? Well, here we get a 6x. 1x times 4 is 4x. That's 10. That's close, but not quite. Okay. By the way, I went through and I tried all of these. None of these will work with a 1 or 6. So these don't work. I tried them all already. So let's go through and let's try 2 and 3. If we put 2x up here, 3x up here, now let's try, okay, what about 1 and 4? Well, we get 3x times 1 is 3x, 2x times 4 is 8x, and those add up to a positive 11x. So we're close, but we're not quite there because we need this to be negative. But check it. Check it out, you guys. All we have to do is make our numbers negative. Because yes, 1 times 4 is 4. And 2 times 2 is 4. But you know what else is 4? Negative 1 times negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 4 times negative 1. Those are all equal to 4. So as long as I make this negative 1, negative 4, well, negative 1 times 3x is a negative 3x. 2x times a negative 4 is a negative 8x. And negative 1 times negative 4 is a positive 4. So we now have our negative 11x that we need. Isn't that great? So good. Okay, so now our factors are 2x minus 1 and 3x minus 4. If we were to factor this out, we would see, okay, 2x times 3x is 6x squared. First, outside minus 8x. Inside minus 3x. Last plus 4. I feel like we just did this process. Oh, hey, look. these are these same numbers. That's no accident. Oh well. But it works. It totally works, giving us 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. Yay, we're done. Amazing. We did great. You guys are awesome. That's how to factor. Oh, except I forgot. Parentheses. There we go. Cool. Cool. So the most important thing I think to remember is diligence. I like to use the this square. Some people call him the magic square. You don't have to. If you just want to keep trying things out, keep trying the pairs out, crossing off what doesn't work, you can do that. Just make sure you show your work so we can see where you got your ideas. We're still looking for our same key idea. We want factors of C, so what multiplies to C and adds to B. It's the same rule as our previous lesson. So that's that. We'll have a great time on our homework as we work together. Oh, and remember, take out a GCF, if there is one. Make your life simple. And have a great time on your homework.